What's up, everybody? Hey, before we get into today's film study session on the Denver Broncos 20-13 victory over the Miami Dolphins, whether it be on the offense or the defensive side of the ball, I got to tell you guys, I'm very excited to announce that I've partnered with DraftKings Sportsbook. They're the top-rated sportsbook app here in the United States, and you can rest assured knowing that your money is in secure hands because DraftKings Sportsbook app today is the most reliable and secure sports betting app out there on the market, and I utilize it because I love taking part in parlays, whether it's a 3-game parlay or sometimes even a 6-game parlay. I like to put my money on the line, and DraftKings Sportsbook is the one sportsbook that I go to every single day. And I want you to get in on the action here at the YouTube channel as well to get into DraftKings Sportsbook by clicking on the link in the description below. And when you sign up, use promo code ROARK. That's ROARK, promo code ROARK, and you can receive up to $1,000 deposit bonus today. Get in the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. Broncos defensively had a lot of success against Tua, causing a lot of pressure. And what you're going to see here is the Broncos in their base package, 2 high safety look out of the 3-4 defensive scheme. It appears as if they are in man coverage. Kareem Jackson is going to come down and play robber. Justin Simmons is going to play the deep middle part of the field here. And then the Dolphins, they're in 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, and they're in the pistol formation here. And Bradley Chubb's going to cause havoc on this play, as you see in the right side. Pressure into his face on the very first snap. So Tua unloads downfield because of the pressure. Not accurate there. It's going to fall incomplete. I wanted to pause it once again, but really Bradley Chubb timing the snap perfectly. Tight end's going to release, so he's going to attack outward and then cut inside of the tackle and be into his face from the onset. Not much Tua could do in a situation like that. A young offensive line, not a lot of weapons at wide receiver that are going to cause separation, and that was an issue, I think, for the Dolphins in this game here. But the Broncos, take a look at their defensive alignment. Because you have a tight end here and a tight end here, the outside backers, they have to line up outside leverage because if they're inside, these guys could seal them and they could run to the outside easily. And the Broncos have struggled against the edge the last few weeks. But you can see in a 3 technique, a 1 technique, and we call this either a 4-eye or he could be in a 5, which is head up on the tackle. But looks like he's a little inside shade there. And then you have your inside linebackers as well, Josie Jewell, Alexander Johnson playing spy. And because of that, I mean, he's key in this tight end right here. Malik Reed is getting pressure there, extra protection, and still, because of Bradley Chubb's pressure, it makes a big difference into his delivery of this throw accurately. It's a little bit too far in front of Jakeem Grant. Justin Simmons is going to come away with an interception on this play, but it's going to get called back due to a phantom holding call. Very suspect call, in my opinion, on A.J. Boye. Outside release from Grant. He's going to come back to the outside here. Crossing pattern here from Devontae Parker. And then you're going to see a chip release out route from the tight end. And really, this is just a poor decision by Tua. I mean, he tries to throw that ball where it's not going to be caught by Parker in a sense. So now, as you can see here, what are we looking at? Okay, you can see this guy's tightly covered here. He's not going to hit him. Malik Reed is initially on coverage on this tight end, but because Tua is rolling out, he's going to come up. So that means that Justin Simmons is going to track down and play coverage here. And now you see Devontae Parker coming free, but here's the deal. Tua's ball placement right here is not very good. At this point, he's anticipating that Simmons is going to bite down, so he's trying to throw it over the top. Justin Simmons, one of the most athletic safeties in the NFL, comes away with an interception here, and he's going to return it. Now, on the other angle here, I want to take a look. I want you guys to watch this combination right here. I want you to watch A.J. Boye against Jakeem Grant up at the top of your screen. You decide for yourself. Great phase in right there. Really, I mean, that you can't. I don't see why they call that holding, to be honest with you. I really don't. I mean, you see that happen all the time with receivers and DBs, and they're going to call that one holding. I don't know, suspect in my opinion there. And it led to a touchdown because Devontae Parker would score from a 3-yard goal line fade here. But the Broncos here on their defensive front, what we're looking at here is you have a 3 technique against 5-man protection. You have a 2-eye inside shade of the guard. You're going to play outside wide. Malik Reed also outside wide. And then the Broncos on this play, they're going to send Alexander Johnson here because they're showing a step down, right? These linemen are stepping down here. It's going to be play action. It's going to roll out that way. So the defensive line is taking their angles to the right side as play action is going to go to the left side of the field. So this is where Malik Reed comes into play. He sees play action. He does a good job rerouting right here. Hands on the tight end. Now he's got to make the decision. He's got to get pressure in the face. Justin Simmons comes away with an INT. I like that pressure. I mean, really, that's just a consistent blitz there from Denver. Not too much pressure outside of Malik Reed, but it's enough to force Tua to make a very poor decision. Justin Simmons should have had 2 interceptions in this game here. The Dolphins on this play are going to score from 3 yards out. It's going to be a goal line fade, and this is a ball that Tua threw a lot at Alabama. It's just a simple step, boom, release to the back of the end zone, throw it up high to the outside. A.J. Boye's got pretty decent coverage here. Right here, he phases in. That's pretty tight. I mean, he's draped on him. He's on him, and look at that ball. It's right here. I mean, you can see that little ball right there. It's going to float over the top, high to the outside, and Parker's going to get it, and still tightly contested coverage. There's a lot of people on my timeline right now. I just want to pause it right now. If you think that the Broncos should get rid of A.J. Boye, I don't think you understand. I don't think you know anything about the cornerback position. I don't think you know how to measure cornerback play. That's absolutely bullshit because of the fact that a guy gives up a catch in contested tight coverage, they should get rid of him. Now, if he was being beat by 20 yards, 15 yards, even 7 yards of separation, that's a different conversation. But most of the catches that A.J. Boye allowed on Sunday were tightly contested. I think that narrative is overplayed and overpriced. Tua's going to get sacked on this play by Draymond Jones. I'm going to highlight Draymond Jones for you. A nice little arrow. There is Draymond here. And what's going to happen is you motion out to empty, which means that there's no running back in the backfield, just the quarterback. 3 guys over here, 3 by 2. Empty formation here, Broncos. This is third down, folks, and so you're going to have man coverage and man coverage right here, number 1 and number 2. And now on this one, I think Tua misses a wide-open Devontae Parker on a corner route because the Broncos right here against this 3 wide receiver set, Asang Bassey's playing man coverage right here on this defensive back. A.J. Boye's outside leverage, Justin Simmons over the top, and then you have Elijah Holder right here in the Broncos dime package. He's going to take, ideally in man coverage, against a stack formation, the number 3 defensive back right here. He's going to take anything that comes to the inside. The common rule is that the number 2 cornerback is always going to match up on the guy on the line of scrimmage because he's playing press leverage, right? So he can match up with him. You can't move A.J. Boye up to play press on number 1 right here because he's off the ball and they're stacked. Because what's going to happen here, you're going to see a vertical release. This guy right here is going to take 3 steps, come across inside. A.J. Boye bites on that, and that leads to the corner route being wide open here. So the Broncos got lucky on this one. Seems like there was a miscommunication between Boye right here and Asang Bassey. But here's the deal. Asang Bassey's responsibility is the number 2 receiver. He's got to take whatever comes outside, and whatever comes inside, Elijah Holder will pick that up in the dime. And then you have your 2 safeties over the top with these guys. But now Kareem's going to drop down because he's got coverage on Gesicki. So on this one, pressure comes in really for the Broncos. Malik Reed coming off here, pocket bone around him. DeMarcus Walker crashing on the inside. You're going to have an inside track here. And then Tua's going to step up. So Draymond Jones is going to double back and actually come back for a sack on this play here on Tua. Tua indecisive, though. I want you guys to pause it. I'm going to pause it for you. You guys can't pause it. I can pause it, though. Right here. Okay, right here. He steps up in the pocket. He can deliver that over the top if he wanted to. He's done that before in his collegiate career. But he doesn't, right? Justin Simmons over the top. He has time to get over there. He's got the speed to be able to make that up. But A.J. Boye says, oh, shit, I lost my guy. I chose the wrong guy going on the inside. And then Tua could have floated it up here. I think Justin Simmons still could have made a play on the ball if, in fact, Tua threw that. But Tua missed that wide open target there because of the pressure. He's going to get sacked by Draymond Jones. One of these 6 sacks in this game. Taking a look here once again. The Broncos are going to shift over. In dime, there's only 3 down linemen. So Broncos going to shift Draymond Jones in. He split the apex between a 2-eye and a 1 technique, so he's playing in that A gap there. Malik Reed coming wide, DeMarcus Walker. And because of this, you're going to see DeMarcus Walker attack up. You're going to see Draymond kind of attack outside, come back around. Alexander Johnson's going to blitz, and then Bradley Chubb obviously off the edge as well. That's something that you're going to see there. But good track back by Draymond Jones there. Good pressure by the Broncos to collapse the pocket around Tua and to force him to tuck it. One of the things the Dolphins did in this offense, they love to telegraph that short throw where Tua's throwing it to the outside to Jakeem Grant. A.J. Boye diagnoses this play well. Maybe he could have jumped it for an interception, but he knocks the pass away, forces an incomplete. Pressure, 4-man pressure by the Broncos. Good job there by Boye. Pass falls incomplete. Jakeem saying, hey, I can't see it because of the sun. There's no excuses in the NFL. You're going to have the sun in your face sometimes. You're going to have a rusher in your face sometimes. But that telegraph throw is something the Broncos diagnosed a lot in practice the previous week. Vic Fangio does a really good job of disguising his coverages, disguising his blitzes. The Broncos, they're a man coverage here, right? They're going to be man coverage right here. You're going to have man coverage on the back. And then this tight end is going to come inside, so Alexander Johnson's going to pick him up. Man coverage initially. You're showing that look here. But instead of Asang Bassey being in man coverage against the number 2 receiver, Bassey's going to blitz off the edge. Justin Simmons is going to replace in man coverage, and therefore you have your scheme. It's going to be a 5-man rush here by the Broncos defensively, and Malik Reed is going to take the inside track on the shoulder of the tackle. Bassey's coming off the edge tight, and the goal here is to collapse the pocket, to bend it around Tua. He's got nowhere to step up, and as you can see right there, he doesn't have anywhere to step up, and the Broncos have really tight coverage. That's one thing I want to highlight right here. Look at this. Tight coverage, tight coverage, tight coverage, tight coverage, and overall, Denver is going to lock up on the receivers. When they can send pressure and lock up, they are one of the best defenses in the National Football League in terms of getting pressure. So once again, from this angle, you're going to see Malik Reed come inside, saying Bassey. You're going to see Sosa McTelvin regime work against the center and the guard here. Deshaun Williams going to attack the shoulder of the guard here. And then you're going to have Bradley Chubb coming wide. He's coming up clear underneath, and so he's going to pick up coverage on the running back right here. But overall, look at this pocket. Good drive there by McTelvin regime. Good push here by Malik Reed. Bassey coming off. So now this tackle says, hey, I have to focus on the outside threat because he's going to hit my quarterback. And then Tua gets caught up, stagnant in the pocket. He goes down for the sack on the play. Broncos defense, they look good when they can disguise coverage and send pressure. Malik Reed had himself a game against the Miami Dolphins here. Some teams coming into this matchup, a lot of teams have ran the delayed draw against the Broncos to success here. So what's going to happen is they're going to run a delayed draw. Gesicki's going to come off and block Josie Jewell. Deshaun Williams is going to attack upfield and kind of slant outwards, and that's going to allow Malik Reed to come underneath and fill. And you have DeMarcus Walker in a 2-eye. So what's going to happen is he's going to attack upfield, and the center and the guard are going to double team him initially, which allows on the delayed draw for Malik Reed to cut up on the inside here and to make a play for a tackle for a loss in the backfield. This was a good play by Malik. Malik Reed has been one of those guys with a high motor that has constantly stood out on film. So once again, as you can see, you got the 2-eye right here. You got the split 4-eye, 3 technique, split apex there in the B gap for Deshaun Williams, and then you're going to have the block, you're going to have the double team here, and you're going to have the inside track. And what's going to happen here is this tackle is going to see Malik Reed coming inside, and he's going to communicate here, but the right guard for the Dolphins does not pick it up, and you're going to see that right here. As you can see, now he's crossing inside. There's no way this tackle can peel back right here and be able to block Malik Reed, so Malik Reed is going to come free here. Another good scheme designed by the Broncos defensive coordinator and head coach, Vic Fangio. Broncos fans, for some reason, want him fired. I don't understand the notion of that because he's got this defense playing pretty damn good football. The Broncos defense on this play is going to sack Tua once again. This is great coverage all across the board by the Broncos. As you can see, they are in their nickel package. They've got 5 defensive backs on the field. This is going to be 4-man pressure sent by the Broncos against this Miami Dolphins offensive line. Bradley Chubb's going to take an inside track. Just a nice little stunt there by the Broncos defensively. Nobody is open, and I'm going to show you here on the other angle on the replay. As you can tell right here, Tua is looking for somebody to get open. You got a guy covered here, covered, and covered. Covered up at the top of the screen. There's nowhere for Tua to go here. So in a situation like this on third down, throw it away, right? Because you take the sack, it's going to back you up, make your field goal attempt even longer here. Now, on this play, Bradley Chubb's going to get held massively. Not sure how they didn't call this, but as you can see, you have Draymond Jones, you have Malik Reed, and then you have DeMarcus Walker lined up in a zero tech, and then Bradley Chubb right here. Bradley Chubb, I mean, they're going to show the blitz look with Alexander Johnson. Bradley Chubb's going to take the inside track here, get held. DeMarcus Walker's coming to the outside, and then you're also going to have the same thing inside, outside here for the Broncos defensively. The thing that I am looking at, look at this right here. Bradley Chubb, that's a hold. That's a hold. That's a hold right there, too. But Bradley Chubb, DeMarcus Walker, and Malik Reed, they're all going to get home here on Tua, and it's going to force a field goal attempt. I thought it was a poor decision by Brian Flores to bench Tua because really a lot of Tua's issues, they came from the offensive line and really the receiving threats not being able to get separation. On this play, Deshaun Williams right here, he's just going to absolutely abuse the interior of the offensive line to get in the backfield from the onset. And the guard has no chance. I mean, Tua has no chance here as well. Tight coverage by the Broncos, and the pressure collapses the offensive line. I don't think you could get mad at Tua for a situation like that. So what we're going to see from the Broncos, you have the motion. It's always window dressing. It's always one thing I've believed in. And now you're going to have Deshaun Williams. You're going to have a down step here. Deshaun's going to attack here, and he's going to come free. And this number 75 just loses him. You know, Deshaun Williams, a big, strong, and deceptively fast guy for a big guy, is able to get after Tua. Tua doesn't have a chance here, folks. So let's watch it once again here on the replay. Just watch number 75. Tries to reach him. Misses completely. Deshaun's got him. Broncos bring down Tua. That's not Tua's fault. That's the offensive line for Miami. If you were a Dolphins fan and you're watching this. The Broncos defense on this play, they're playing some zone coverage. They're disguising a man look here because they're going to bump out Malik Reed to cover number 2. You're going to have AJ Boye against number 1, Simmons and Kareem Jackson over the top, Bryce Callahan, and then Asang Bassi. This is just going to be some simple zone coverage. And they're lining up Bradley Chubb as if he's in alignment against Gesicki. But Bradley Chubb's going to go, and you're going to have 3-man pressure from the down lineman altogether. So Denver is just sending a different look. And they're going to cover everybody on this play. I mean, nobody is open. You got this underneath crossing route. Josie Jewell's on top of that. Bryce Callahan on number 19, Jakeem Grant. You have this little hook zone here by Bassi, and he's coming inside. So Justin Simmons is tracking that. Boye playing outside, coming off deep here, and then Kareem Jackson being the floating roamer guy there. Really, there's no window for Tua. And even though Tua's rolling out to his left, Bryce Callahan sees that he's dropping back. You have Bassi coming back as well. And then this guy reverse pivots to come back, but there is nothing there, and Tua has nowhere to throw it. So it's going to go out of bounds, -2 yards. They're going to count it as a sack for Deshaun Williams. Even if you run backwards and you get touched, I guess they count that as a sack here. But Broncos coverage against the Dolphins wide receiver threats were pretty good all night. Deshaun Williams, Bradley Chubb, good pursuit effort there. It is 3rd and 21 on this play for the Miami Dolphins, and Bradley Chubb's going to come up with a sack. This would be the Broncos' 6th sack of the game. Broncos in their dime package, first down marker right here, so they have a lot of area to protect, and obviously they have a lot of the cover guys to be able to do that against 4 wide receiving threats. So really this is just pressure base here by Vic Fangio and the Broncos, and Bradley Chubb takes the inside track. Alexander Johnson's going to step up here and command the attention of 2 guys and allow Bradley Chubb to come free underneath, which leads to him getting the sack on the play. And he's just got the inside track. They focus too much on Alexander Johnson. The guard doesn't see that Bradley Chubb is coming underneath, and it leads to his sack. And it would be 4th and 30 after the play here. So once again, it's the same kind of stunt. Alexander Johnson stepping up, Bradley Chubb coming underneath. Same thing here. You're going to have Draymond Jones stepping up, and then you have your other guy coming underneath here. The Broncos just wanted to dial up that pressure. Different look here overall for the defense. And then all the cover guys are back there covering. I mean, really for Denver, this is a smart game plan against a rookie quarterback. Not much that Tua could do in a situation like this. Everyone is covered. And, I mean, I think that's the ideal scenario here. Everyone is covered. What do you expect Tua to do? There's a lot of talking heads saying that Tua's a bust, but he faced a really good Broncos defense. I think it was a poor decision for them to bench Tua in favor of Fitzpatrick. This play right here is for the marbles, folks. The Broncos will get the win because of Justin Simmons' interception. Now, I want you guys to see where Justin is, right? Okay, so you have a trips to the defensive right side of the field. Asang Bassi playing press on number 2. Bryce Callahan playing off to the outside. Kareem Jackson playing inside of number 3 over the top here. And then you have Josie Jewell also aligned on the interior. They're going to send Alexander Johnson because this running back is going to be used in extra protection. That means you have a one-on-one coverage here right there with AJ Boye and Jakeem Grant. But Justin Simmons right here, he's going to track and read this play, break on the football, and end it. I just want you guys to keep an eye on it because really Devontae Parker is going to run a post pattern right here. Bryce Callahan underneath technique. Justin Simmons gets over the top perfectly and intercepts his pass. But watch Justin Simmons. He's reading it. He's floating to the middle of the field here because you have essentially, we could call this a cover 3 and man coverage underneath, right? Because you can see Bryce Callahan trailing back. You can see coverage right here. And then you have one-on-one coverage right here. He's got to play him as man, playing that middle, and he's just reading that, floating over, and he's going to diagnose this great because now look right here. Bryce Callahan underneath, Justin Simmons over the top. This is a nice little throw in a tight window, but guess what? Justin Simmons is a better athlete. Bam. Interception, Broncos. I want you guys to watch it here once again. I mean, this is just the leverage that we see here by Denver. Simmons elevating, ball hawk. Should have had 2 interceptions in this game. One was called back for a holding call. He would have had 5 interceptions on the year. He's got 4, and he's still playing pretty damn good football right now for the Broncos. That's not a bad throw by Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's a great play by the safety. Tight window. Broncos hold on, and they win this one.